Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I want to talk about the Canon EOS R. I've been messing around with this camera for the past 3 months and I've been loving everything about this camera. It's an awesome camera. Today I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about how I shoot video on the EOS R, my settings, and not just how I shoot video, but how I expose for video. When I'm shooting video on the EOS R, I'm shooting in C Log. C Log has been really fun to shoot with, and on this camera is not like the GH5. The GH5, you have waveforms, you got zebras. So when you're shooting log, you got to be very careful because you can get a lot of noise in your shadows if you're not exposing correctly. The GH5, the Sony a7 III, they give you zebras, so you're allowed to, see where you're at. But on the EOS R, you don't have zebras. So I kind of want to talk about how I expose my C Log footage with the EOS R. Right now I have this external monitor hooked up, so to make sure you guys are recording video, make sure you guys go to mode, and if you guys should be on video manual. Once we're right there, I'm gonna hit menu. Once I go into menu, I'm gonna go into this first folder in tab 1, and where it says movie record quality, I want to make sure I'm recording in full HD, 23.98 frames per second, all I. Make sure you guys are recording, if you guys want the highest quality in 1080, make sure you're recording in all I. Once I have that set, I'm gonna go back, and then I'm gonna jump into tab number 4. And right here on tab number 4, I'm going up to where it says Canon Log Settings. Where it says Canon Log Settings, right now it's off by default. So make sure you guys hit that and turn that on to 8-bit. Once you guys have that turned on 8-bit, you guys will have right underneath, you got this View Assist on. What View Assist on is just kind of giving you a LUT, a Rec 709 LUT, so you guys can see your log footage, how it's gonna look already, a little more contrast, more colors into it. It's not gonna be baked into your footage, it's just a monitor, so you guys can monitor through your LCD screen. I'm gonna turn that on, make sure you guys turn that on. I will explain why in a little bit. And after that, everything else stays the same. I'll go back. So that's how I set up my camera for recording video. I'm shooting in C Log, I'm shooting in 1080p most of the time, and that's pretty much it. Let me take this thing off because this is really heavy and I don't want to be holding on to this the whole video, so give me a quick second. Okay, now that I have that thing off, here is the Canon EOS R and I am ready to record video. So the other part that I want to talk about is how I expose on this EOS R when I'm shooting in Log C. As I mentioned before, on this EOS R, you don't have zebras and you don't have waveforms. You just have like a histogram, but I really don't use the histogram when it comes down to video on this camera. There's two things that I pay attention to. I honestly just judge and I just trust the LCD screen. And if it looks good on my LCD screen, then I'm gonna hit record and I'm gonna start recording. If it doesn't look good on the LCD screen, then I will not record. I will adjust my exposure. And that's pretty much it. You don't really have zebras or anything like that, which in a way is pretty cool. I like that because it just, you look at your composition, you look at your highlights, your shadows. If there's a face that's blown out and you can see that on your LCD screen, then, bring down your exposure and go based off of that. Another thing that I've realized when I'm exposing for C Log is I'm usually overexposing one stop when I'm recording in C Log, and that is something that I'm consistently noticing when I'm exposing my shot. Once I have my shot, at a good look and all that, I look at my exposure meter and I'm overexposed one stop. Or if you guys are just getting started recording C Log on your EOS R, just overexpose one stop, and most, like 90% of the time, is gonna be good exposure. Another thing is on my GH5, I've always said, don't look at your meters, don't look at your overexposing one, don't even look at your meters because you have zebras and you got waveforms. I rather look at my zebras and waveforms when I have those tools. But since we don't have those tools on this EOS R, I just, overexpose one stop, or just look at your LCD screen and judge your exposure just by the eye on your camera. Those are the two ways that has helped me the most when I'm setting exposure on the EOS R, and it's been working really good. I've been loving the shots that I'm getting out of it. Something I do want to say is I've been having a lot of fun filming video on the EOS R because I don't have zebras, I don't have meters, I don't have this, I don't have that. I just look at my shot and I hit record, and if it looks good, I go with it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Another thing is, if you guys are recording 10-bit externally, this thing is a whole different camera. Like, it's a night and day difference of a camera. If you record the 8-bit 1080p coming out of this camera versus the 10-bit 4K from an external monitor, it's a huge difference, and it's a whole different monster. And that's what I like a lot about this camera, and that's what I love a lot about my GH5. These cameras give you options, give you flexibility. They allow you to, expand your camera. It allows you to grow with your camera. You just don't turn on your camera, get the video settings, and then hit a limit where it's like, all right, that's it. I've maxed out my camera, I can't do nothing more. No, these cameras allow you to get more out of them, and that's what's important for me, and that's what matters for me. And in the long run, I think that's what ends up staying on my camera bag the longest, because there's just so many options. So hopefully I didn't go off too long. That's kind of what I want to talk about, how I set up my EOS R for video and how I expose using C Log on this camera. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys got any recommendation or anything like that, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I'll catch you guys on the next